All right, hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're going to dive into a UI component that solves a really common problem for pretty much every developer out there. How do you talk to your users without, getting in their face? We're talking about simple, elegant, and totally non-blocking notifications, and we're going to do it with B4XDaisyToast.
I mean, think about it, right? Your user just saved a file, or maybe some background task just finished up. You've got to tell them, hey, that thing you did, it worked. But do you really want to throw up a big dialog box that forces them to stop everything and click OK? No way. It totally shatters their focus and just messes up their flow.
And that's where something called a toast notification comes in. It's basically this small temporary message that just kind of pops up on the screen, says what it needs to say, and then poof, it fades away. All without demanding the user to do anything. It's just the polite way to get a message across.
Okay, so let's get our hands dirty and dive into this component. First up, we're going to look at the essentials, how you can control exactly where the toast shows up, what it looks like, and of course, how long it hangs around on the screen. And check out how simple this is. I mean, really. With just one line of code, toast.setPosition, you have total control. You want it in the top left corner? Cool, just use start and top. Or maybe you prefer that classic bottom right spot. Yep, that's just N and bottom. It's just incredibly straightforward. And it's not just one size fits all either. The component comes with 4 built-in styles, all ready to go, to match whatever you're trying to say. You've got your green for success, blue for info, yellow for warning, and red for error. All you do is call the right method, and the component takes care of all the colors and icons for you. It makes your notifications instantly recognizable.
Okay, so having the user dismiss a notification is fine sometimes, but the real magic of a toast, the whole point, is that it's supposed to be temporary. So what if you want it to deliver its message and then just gracefully disappear, all on its own?
Well, this shows you just how easy it is to do exactly that. You just use the with duration version of the method, so like success with duration, and you just pass in how long you want it to stick around, in milliseconds. And what's really cool is this sleek little progress bar appears at the bottom, giving the user a visual cue. And then after 3 seconds in this example, it's gone. That is just a fantastic user experience.
All right, so far so good. But what about more complex situations? What happens when a bunch of things happen at once and trigger multiple notifications? Does your screen just turn into a chaotic mess of overlapping boxes? Let's see.
Nope, not at all. The component is smart enough to handle stacking completely automatically. As you can see here, if you fire off 2 notifications one after the other, they just line up, one on top of the other, perfectly spaced out. And the best part? You don't have to write a single line of extra code to manage any of those positions. It just works.
In cleaning things up is just as simple and elegant. Let's say your user moves to a different part of the app, and you want to get rid of any old notifications that might be lingering around. It's just one simple command, toast.clear. Boom. Every single active toast is instantly wiped from the screen.
Okay, so we've seen what it can do, which is pretty cool. Now, for all of you who are kind of curious about the how, let's take a quick peek under the hood and see what makes this component so smart.
So at the heart of it all is this data structure, this type called toast item. The easiest way to think about it is like a blueprint for every single notification. It's an object that holds all the important info. The actual visual part, the timer for when it should disappear, how long it should last, everything.
So, where do all these little blueprints live while they're on screen? Well, they're all kept in a simple list called items. This list is basically the manager of the whole operation. It keeps track of every single notification that's currently visible, which is exactly how the component knows how to stack them or clear them all at once.
And here, my friends, is where the real magic happens. There's this subroutine called refresh layout, and you can think of it as the artist. It does all the heavy lifting. Every single time a toast is added or taken away, this function gets called. It figures out how big all the toasts are, calculates their exact positions based on your settings, and then animates them smoothly right into place. This is the secret sauce that makes sure you get that perfect, clean stack every single time.
All right, let's bring this all home. After seeing how it works and what it can do, why should this component be your go-to tool for notifications in your next B4X app? What's the bottom line?
Well, it really boils down to 4 main things. First, it is super easy to use with a really clean and simple API. Second, it's highly customizable. You get full control over the position, style, and timing. Third, and maybe most importantly, it just makes for a better user experience by giving feedback that doesn't block the user.
And finally, all that tricky layout stuff, the stacking, the positioning, it's all handled for you, automatically.
And that really brings us to our final thought for you to take away. As you're working on your own projects, just think about this. Where in your app's flow could a simple, non-blocking toast notification make things smoother, clearer, or just a little more professional? It's a tiny change that can honestly make a huge difference. Thanks for hanging out with me today.